10 Give Go or something.
Okay.
And that's definitely how you can help support us, and just share and support and and come out whenever, when the time comes to support the family. Jerica definitely needs the support. I think that it really helps her stay strong, that she knows people are behind her, because I know that if it wasn't for our family and friends and Mr. Dan for supporting us throughout the last 9 months, I'm sorry, we've felt really alone. So the public support is a lot of really nice. So thank you.
All right, I'm out here with Viper from Panhandle Patriots, and he's supporting the Sin Baby Lily home. Can you tell us what happened?
Well, basically, just let me give you my perspective on this. Number one, that we honestly, we believe in children being taken care of first. Always side with what's best for a child. What things that we don't like is where, let's say, for example, that a parent has had an indiscretion or whatever, and they went ahead and they fulfilled their obligation that they needed to take care of, and it's not detrimental to the child in any way. We don't like to see overreach from any government agency that steps in and wants to take over parents' responsibilities or in the decisions what is best for a child. And this is what is happening here. The child, the parents decided what is going to be best for the child, and it's been checked out. The people that they'd like to place the child with checks out just fine. And holding the child with family, you always want to keep the child close to family. Kids, they'll grow up and they'll always want to be close to where their origins and who their family were.
Do you know what happened?
Well, yes, I know part of it, not fully informed on all of it, but I know enough to know that the CPS is actually, in the local government, is stepping in and taking control of what should be a parent's right to decide what is best for the child.
Can you hold on just a second? Can we get this on?
Is it okay?
Well,
I think they're already recording. I mean, if you don't want to be on camera, let us know right now.
What I can tell you is that, okay, I wasn't in there, so I can't say what was said in court because I don't know. Number one. We were outside the courthouse. When it came out, we were only told that they can't tell us anything. They can't talk to us, they can't do anything. That's all we know.
And is this just Jerica or the entire...
Jerica, her attorney, they cannot
speak about anything.
Discuss anything in this case. So that's what I know. It appears that there are allegations that there have been threats against people. I don't know who or what evidence there is of such alleged threats.
Do we know what people, if you don't mind me asking?
I don't know anything about, I don't know any details. I wasn't in there, but the only thing I know is that there may have been some allegations of threats and claims that this place is, that it's improper interference in the judicial process, and that the idea being that it places everybody at risk.
Peaceful protests, you mean?
And that I don't know what they're referring to as the threat. But anyway, that's my understanding, is that allegations of threats have been raised.
So are we the threats, is what they're saying? Or
I don't know. there's allegations of some kind of threat.
Is saying someone's name publicly a threat?
Because the only ones who
I
have
don't
threatened
know
us is
what
CPS.
constitutes it.
I'm being rhetorical.
I don't have that information. All I know is that the mother's attorney and the mother are unable to discuss this case under threat of contempt. That's my understanding as to where we stand. The issues that were brought earlier by the mother's attorney and by me, the Templeton's attorney, have not been adjudicated. So I don't know what the result of those are. That's all I know. That's all I really am able to say, because other than that would be speculation.
Yeah. Well, thank you. I appreciate the update.
Appreciate everybody's support. The Templetons, I think we're going to stop by here in a minute after they got into their car, and thank you for your showing up and supporting. That is, that is where it's at. I hope that that this doesn't distract the court from making a decision that is the appropriate, what I believe is the appropriate decision. The arguments that were made, I don't believe the law is unclear or unambiguous about what it says. So, mother is supposed to be able to retain her right even after child protection has legal custody of child to consent to adoption. And the state doesn't have a problem if you consent to adoption, to their adoption. But there's language in Idaho Supreme Court cases that indicate that the right to consent to adoption includes the right to withhold consent and necessarily the right to choose the parent within that right.
Do you think that the state feels that they have custody of baby Lily, and so they're the ones?
Their argument is that they have custody, and therefore it's all their decisions, and nobody else can interfere with their decisions,
including the biological mother, even though.
Yeah. So they're saying that the rights that are considered retained rights under the Child Protection Act definitions of retained rights,
they're like null and void right now.
They're like, well, she has these rights, but she can't exercise these rights. Well, if you have a right that you cannot exercise,
then you don't have
meaningfully,
a right.
Then how is that a right?
Well,
and it to me, why would the legislature have put that in the Child Protection Act if they didn't intend for a person to be able to exercise it?
I feel that ties in with this situation right now, because here we have a protected First Amendment right to peacefully protest. We're here in support of the family, and now and again, this is alleging because we don't know what's going on, but what it sounds like is the court is essentially threatening our peaceful assembly by saying that they feel threatened, and so our First Amendment right is now restricted, or that we're not able to exercise it because then they consider that that we're bullying them or we're intimidating them, and that's not how this country works.
I hope that nobody, and I don't advocate, I have never advocated any threats of violence or violence against anybody. I didn't really organize any of this protest or public awareness of this. I've just become aware of this movement. And I hope that people don't take it upon themselves, and I would discourage them and say, please do not do that, because that is not helpful to this cause
Right.
in any way, shape, or form.
Well, and I just want to let
do so.
people know that are watching right now, we
I don't-
have been peaceful. We've had kids rolling
Yeah.
around in the grass.
Yeah.
We've got signs. We've been praying. We've been talking, drinking coffee, and we've been extremely peaceful. We're just standing in the
Yeah.
grass. And
So-
the only thing that I could say that we've done is, well, and that has been done, is that the people involved in this case, that it feels like it's human trafficking to us. It feels like this is criminal behavior, and we've said their names. That's the only thing that I
Yeah.
can think of that they would say is threatening. And how is saying someone's name a threat?
Well,
We're not advocating violence. We're standing in the grass with kids using chalk and rolling in the grass.
We have the right to the First Amendment, freedom of speech.
and certainly there is no question that standing here in support is lawful. You are peacefully assembling in a public forum.
Yeah.
I don't see any signs of violence. I don't see any weapons. I don't see anything that would make anybody intimidated here. But I again would just have to encourage anybody who becomes aware of this. It could understandably make somebody feel anger or upset, and I would simply say, do not act on those.
Is there a financial motivation for the state to keep your baby?
Yes, there is a Title IV funding for the state, for CPS. If they adopt to the foster mother, they will receive stipends and bonuses and everything like that. Versus if they adopt to me, a first cousin, I'm a relative, they would not receive that.